Hey everyone, welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. Thanks for joining me today. The Montreal Canadiens. We are going to talk some Habs today. My favorite team. Okay, I like lists in order and rankings. You guys know that. And I thought I'd try something just a little bit different and actually go through the roster and rank all the roster. Like that's really as simple as it is, from my favorite player on the team to my least favorite player on the team. I'm going to go through the whole roster for the most part. Now, I know this is an odd year and there's a taxi squad and stuff, and then as I'm filming this, Cole Caulfield just played his first game, so he's technically not on this list, but so just kind of ignore him. But the rest of the general roster of the Canadiens from this odd season is on my list, ranked right here in front of me, and I'm going to go through it probably pretty quickly, and just talk about some of the players and have some fun with it. If you want to see me do maybe your favorite team or a different team around the NHL, please let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new, we'd love it if you hit the subscribe button. And just so you guys know, later on tonight, if you're not interested in the jersey concept videos, I understand that. I know some people skip them, but you're going to want to see the one tonight, okay? It's a vintage series, and they're some of the best concepts I have ever seen in my life. So if you have the time later on today or tonight, please watch that video. You will not regret it. There are some amazing jerseys in there. And if you're watching this well in advance and you don't know what tonight is, because you're watching, weeks or months in advance or down the road, just go to YouTube and search Post to Post Vintage. You'll almost certainly be able to find it. Okay, so let's get into this. There are 23 names I have on this list, and let's start with my least favorite and go to my favorite. So my least favorite player on the Montreal Canadiens was so easy to put on this list it wasn't even funny. 22nd is nowhere near 23rd. Like, it is so far in the negative for me for Jonathan Drouin. He's out there to skate. That's what it feels like. He's out there to skate around and do his little dipsy doodles and play with the puck a little bit. He certainly isn't out there scoring goals. Okay, he is underachieving. He's underachieving in the sense of offensive production. He has 2 goals, I think, on this year. It's just ridiculous. He's got quite a bit of assists, but he's put out there in all of the advantageous situations. So he's been given a lot of favors by the coaching staff. He works for it, but there's no execution. Like, there's such a lack of execution. I honestly just feel like he's out for a skate. He's a really good skater. He's a decent puck handler, and he just goes out and he dips and doodles and ends up losing the puck or takes a terrible penalty, and just sometimes the effort is just not there, and he's so inconsistent. It's very frustrating. I absolutely despise him on the Montreal Canadiens. I wish that he could be traded off. That's how much I dislike Jonathan Drouin. I really like him as a person. I'll say that, like off ice, on camera, in interviews and stuff. He's probably one of my favorite humans on the Canadiens. But as a player, I'm just not a fan. I appreciate consistency. I appreciate defense. And those 2 things just ain't his forte. Number 22, I put Kulak. There's nothing really wrong with Kulak. He's just kind of one of those players that doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I don't know why. Like, he's actually made some decent plays in some of the games he's played in, but for whatever reason, maybe that's a positive thing that I don't really notice him, but I just don't. And sometimes he does make some mistakes that just drive me nuts. But anyway, 21, I put Eric Gustafsson. He's relatively new to the Montreal Canadiens, so I didn't really feel like I could form an opinion or a concrete opinion at this point. Number 20, I put Eric Staal. I'm not a huge Eric Staal fan. I don't mind that he's on the Canadiens. I think he can contribute from a leadership perspective and some offensive perspective as well, but I don't know. I just don't. I think back to 2006 when Montreal played Carolina, and what Eric Staal did to my Canadiens back in 2006 was a very tough pill to swallow, and I have not forgotten Eric Staal. Number 19, I put Benchrock. Oh my God, this guy is driving me crazy lately. Just the ridiculous defensive plays and the giveaways and just the stupidest undisciplined decisions that he has made in the past couple of months has been driving me nuts. It's surprising that he's not in the bottom 2. That really, if I were to redo this list in a week, he might be. Number 18, Joel Edmondson, sorry. decent players, kind of like Brent Kulak. I don't really notice him that much. He makes some okay plays. I wish he would. He seems like a guy who might be able to fight. I don't think I've seen him fight, but I kind of want to. I want to see a little bit more physicality from him in the sense that it's time to chuck some knuckles sometimes. So I don't know. Number 17, John Merrill, a new Canadian on the team. I couldn't bring myself to put someone with that incredible of a mullet in the bottom 5. So I don't really know a lot about the guy as far as what kind of type of person he is, but I mean the dude's got a mullet, okay? I mean anyone with a mullet, I gotta be friends with him. I gotta. It's number 16, Jeff Petrie. I don't know why that I kind of don't like Petrie. I have no legitimate reason as to why I don't like Petrie. I just don't, and I should. Like, he makes a lot of great plays, and when Weber was injured, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, Petrie stepped in and he did really well, and he's played very good this year. But I don't know what it is about Petrie. I can't explain it, and it is frustrating internally for me because I can't explain it, but I just can't. Number 15, Shea Weber. What a decline these past couple of years, and specifically this year. It's been really frustrating as a Canadiens fan watching Weber this year. Just the inability to play any kind of decent defense. He's so slow, and he tries to play physical, but I don't know. If you get a guy who can skate decently, they're going to get away from Weber. So I just don't feel like he's even close to being a contributor as he used to be on the team. So I don't know. Philip Deneau is 14th. Love him in the dot. He's very good in the face-off circle. He was made an offer by Montreal, I believe, and he declined it for a contract, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like he has not had the greatest years, so if he were to get another offer, it would probably be less than what he was originally offered by Montreal. So I think there's a tarnished relationship there between Montreal and Philip Deneau. Number 13, I put Paul Byron. Apparently, people think I look like Paul Byron. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult, but he's okay. Just inconsistent. Like a lovely skater. The effort is there 80% of the time, but some nights he's so invisible. Number 12, Carey Price. I get really frustrated with Carey Price, not because he loses games for Montreal, and he has, but he's also kept Montreal in a lot of games, like loads of games over the year. He is one of the only reasons why Montreal made the playoffs at all, basically in the last decade. But he is very inconsistent, and that's what drives me crazy. I would prefer him to be less talented, instinctively, positionally, laterally, like a worse goalie, but more consistent. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I would prefer him to be not as good, but more consistent. He's just so inconsistent recently, it drives me nuts. And I know currently as I'm filming this, he's going through some concussion stuff, which is very unfortunate. I'm not a big Carey Price fan. I'm very critical of him, but I definitely would not wish any harm on him or concussion issues. I want him to finish his career and hopefully have a chance at a Stanley Cup. It's likely not going to be with Montreal, so I wish great things for him. I wish him to leave Montreal for my own stress sake, but also to go somewhere where he can actually win a Stanley Cup, because realistically, guys, Montreal's not going to win a Stanley Cup anytime soon. That's just the hard truth. Number 11, Tyler Toffoli. Really impressed with what I've seen from Toffoli this year. He's really been the only consistent offensive goal scorer, maybe outside Gallagher, but Gallagher's injured right now, so it's really been cool to see Toffoli play, and I hope he stays on the team for the rest of his career, basically. Number 10, I put Arturi Lehkonen. I kind of always liked Lehkonen. I've never disliked him. He's been a bit inconsistent, and I don't totally blame him, though, because he's been thrown around on so many lines over the years. Sometimes he was up on the first line, given opportunities, and he's done decent, but then he's thrown down to the fourth line, and I don't know. I can just sense a lot of frustration from Lehkonen, and I think there's maybe some relationship issues with coaches over the years, so I don't blame him too much, and I like him. Number 9, Brendan Gallagher. How can you not like Brendan Gallagher if you're a Canadiens fan? If you're anyone but a Canadiens fan, you probably dislike Gallagher because he's one of those players that just gets in your player's face, and he's feisty. He's a little, he's a little trickster. He gets into situations that maybe he shouldn't be in, specifically around the net. But those are the guys you want on your team. So if you're a Boston fan and you do not like Gallagher, let me ask you this. If Gallagher was on your team, would you like him? Answer is probably yes. So, yeah, Gallagher's one of those players that you love to hate almost. Number 8, Thomas Tatar. Little inconsistent, a lot of potential, and when he performs at his max, Thomas Tatar is one of the most exciting players to watch on the Canadiens team. I really like watching him play. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, I love my Finns, so Kotkaniemi had to be in the top 10. I just like how goofy he is. Sometimes he'll be super serious, and then you'll just catch him in a smile. And he has this big, just giant smile and these big wide eyes, and he's always happy. So I really like his personality. Number 6, Romanov, however you want to say it. He is kind of that offensive. I don't know. I'm not going to say he's underperforming. It's his first year in the league. I really want to see how he progresses, but he's just this offensive player on the blue line that I'm waiting for him to just sprout and bring life offensively to the Canadiens. And I kind of feel like he's being held back a little bit by his partners that he's been paired with, and potentially not really his minutes, but his situational, him being on the ice in certain situations and stuff. So I like what I see from Romanov, but I think he's better than what we've seen, and I can't wait to see what's coming. Number 5, Josh Anderson. I don't know how you can dislike Josh Anderson. Like, the guy is just he's a machine. Like, he is big, he's fast, he's physical, he can score, and he can dangle. Like, this guy he can do it all. Very underrated in the NHL. Such an addition to the Montreal Canadiens. I love it. And man, I hope he stays around for a while. Number 4, Joel Armia. Again, I like my Finns, and I got to see Armia play for the Winnipeg Jets back in 2018 for the Winnipeg Jets against Vegas in a playoff game. And I remember watching him during that game and be like, man, this guy's like super underrated. Now, for the record, Winnipeg lost that game, but Armia had a really good game. And shortly after that, and I guess not shortly, but a couple months after that, he was traded to the Montreal Canadiens. I was like, heck yeah! So I'm a big fan of him. Number 3, Nick Suzuki. He is exactly what Montreal needs, is he not? Like, he's by definition the thing that Montreal needs. A player with offensive skill who is young but doesn't mind kind of taking on responsibility of making big plays, sometimes by himself. He just has that ability. He's quick. He's talented. Like, he is kind of the whole package. He's a little bit small, but he plays. I've seen him play a little bit physical, so I'm a big fan of Suzuki. Love his fit in Montreal. I hope he never leaves the team. Number 2, this may shock a couple of people, or maybe a lot of people, Corey Perry. Corey Perry has not been on the Montreal Canadiens very long, but if you've watched any amount of Montreal Canadiens games, you will know that Corey Perry, sometimes he takes some undisciplined penalties. I fully admit that. But he has been the most consistent, one of the most aggressive and feisty and talented players on the Montreal Canadiens. I know a lot of people hate him, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't. He's done some dirty things in the past. But if you just watch his game individually, like, maybe you're not a Canadiens fan and you're watching this, or maybe you are a Canadiens fan. It doesn't matter. The next time you watch the Montreal Canadiens, instead of watching the puck and where the puck goes, watch Corey Perry. Notice when he's on the ice and just watch him. Don't worry about the play, just watch him. And you'll notice how incredibly smart that he is. Not only is he smart with the puck, he's smart away from the puck. And he finds himself in these positions where it's like he has eyes in the back of his head. And he'll get the puck and he'll pass it immediately to somewhere where he's not even looking, but he knows where a guy is. He just has that instinct. And he can do that on a team that he just joined. He doesn't even know these guys, really. He barely has chemistry with him. And he came in on the team, and he's done amazing things. He does not get enough credit. And it's a shame that he joined the Montreal Canadiens so late in his career. And it's unfortunate that he probably won't be with the Canadiens next year. And that really makes me sad. I just think he's a very underrated and underappreciated player in the NHL, regardless if he's on the Canadiens or not. Very talented, and it's unfortunate that he does not get as much praise as what I think he does. And number 1, most of you know this, Jake Allen. So I live in Fredericton, New Brunswick. If you're not aware, Jake Allen is from Fredericton, New Brunswick. So ever since Jakey Boy entered the league, he's been my favorite player, other than Saku Koivu. When Saku Koivu retired, then became Jake Allen. So I have I have a deep love for Jake Allen. I like to support local, as they say, and it doesn't get more local than Jake Allen. So until he retires in the NHL, he will be my favorite player in the entire league, not just the Montreal Canadiens. And he's actually played pretty well. I'd say he's played better than Carey Price. I don't think overall he's better than Carey Price, but this year he's played better than Carey Price. So that makes me even more happy. So thanks, guys, for watching this. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. And like I said, remember, tonight there is going to be a very special concept video. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It is some of the best concepts I've ever seen in my entire life. I would love it if you could check it out. So if you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you guys like this video and you want to see me do more teams like this, or like this, but other teams in the NHL, hit the like button. Have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you later. Adios.